And it's interesting because actually, Acos and I agree that a lot of high performers are under fucking eating. They think they're consuming enough for what they do and how they do it. And we're talking about this from a tactical standpoint. I've got tactical athletes that are just running on caffeine intake and high levels of adrenaline, meaning that their adrenals and their pituitary glands are completely fucking fried and fatigued. We've got parents who are who mistake stress suppression for appetite and discipline because there's so much allostatic load in their bucket. And what we mean by that is life is filling that bucket up like nobody's business. It's overflowing. We've got parents that we work with that are like, yeah, I'm disciplined. No, you're fucking not. You're an idiot around your food because you're not recognizing that the allostatic stress and the allostatic load that's happening in your life is having a second, third, fourth knock-on effect. Yeah. Acos and I work with people that think 7 days of training per week is an effective protocol that you should follow, which is crazy. It's wild. People who think not being hungry in the morning is normal. You've just come out of a 10, potentially 11-hour fast, maybe longer. We break that fast and fuel for performance and longevity and health. It's not to say that you have to eat breakfast, but I think we need to get away from this conversation of saying you don't have to eat breakfast as well, because there is a blend of this conversation.
Absolutely.
So let's start with like why a lot of modern culture, and especially over the past 20, 30 years, mate. Let's talk about the first one. What's the first one that you're finding at the moment that is just probably the highest priority on this list that we've written?
Well, it's like you say, the high performers on that are actually underfed. I had, like, again, anecdotal, but like I had a lady reach out for me saying that she's got Hyrox. I think the next Hyrox is in a couple of weeks, isn't it? So she's got a Hyrox event. Can I work with her to get her weight down? And that was where she reached out and said, I want to get my weight down. I'm doing a Hyrox. Okay. I said, why would you want your weight to be down for the Hyrox? She said, oh, well, I'm doing the Hyrox, but, I want to lose a bit of weight. So it was really the realism that she's done a Hyrox, she's done a high performing performance event, an endurance event, a hard taxing event to lose a bit of weight. And she's partnering that with under eating and under fueling. And I refused to work with her and said to her, come back to me after the Hyrox, because I'm not going to be putting you through a diet whilst you're doing the Hyrox. So I think that people are misunderstood and not understanding what they need to perform well and to function well. And there's just this constant need that, like you say, it's discipline. Like, you're not disciplined if you're constantly in a deficit. That's not a good thing. If you're constantly not eating enough, and especially if you think like you're not, we've heard this though before. And yes, the calories in versus calories out rule is the fundamental rule, but people just don't understand how many layers there is to this. Well, I don't eat enough, but I'm not losing any weight. Okay. The reason being, you're not eating a lot, but you're not burning anything because you've tanked all your systems. Literally, you're not feeding any of your systems that fuel your body, that make your body function, that make your body work. You're not hungry in the mornings because your thyroid is tanked. You're not hungry in the mornings because your cortisol is dysregulated. Cortisol should spike in the mornings, and that should actually make you want to be hungry. If cortisol doesn't spike, it's blunted, and then it's spiking in the evening. That's going to affect your sleep. All these dysregulations and these patterns, because you're under fueling, you're overstressed, and you're under recovered. And that's because you want to lose a bit of weight because you want to do a Hyrox. It just doesn't make sense to me.